organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Just ahead tonight on Daily Iowan TV, smoking law, is it being enforced?
And polling update. A new poll shows which candidate is trustworthy. We have the details later on in the show.
The chilly weather this weekend didn't stop Hawkeye athletics. We've got a baseball win, rowing, and more. Olympic wrestling on the way, coming up in sports.
Good evening and thanks for tuning into Daily Iowan TV. I'm Taylor Brooks.
And I'm Katie Reber. A recent law bans smoking on campus, including e-cigarettes. Even though there are new signs posted, Daily Iowan TV reporter Becca Scadden looks into why students are still lighting up on campus.
The University of Iowa has had a smoke-free campus policy since July 1st of 2008. As of August 21st, 2015, the campus also adopted a tobacco-free campus policy. Despite these policies, many students report seeing people smoking on campus.
Whenever I walk to class.
Like near the old Capitol Center and Papa John building and downtown everywhere.
I mean, I think it's campus like right outside like Slater by the bus stop, over by usually hospital workers, I think.
Due to the apparent frequency of these offenses, many believe that there aren't actually punishments. However, those caught violating these policies are subject to tickets and fines.
I've never seen them get tickets, but I know people that.
I've seen people get tickets before for it.
The idea behind these policies is to create a safe campus climate for everyone, but that requires students saying something when they encounter the problem.
I mean, if I knew them, I'd probably say something, but if it was just someone I didn't know, I'd never say that.
If you or someone you know needs help to quit smoking, UI Wellness offers programs to faculty, staff, and students that help smokers and those who use other tobacco products. Reporting for Daily Iowan TV, this is Becca Scadden.
Many noticed Monday that the streets are a little more busy. Construction crews started working on a new road project on Washington Street near Clinton and Dubuque Streets. The crew will be working on intersections and improving sidewalks for pedestrians. Residents should look out for closing roads and heavy traffic when traveling near those roads. The construction is set to finish in July.
Monday marks an emotional day of remembering for both Japanese and American people. World leaders gathered in Hiroshima, Japan at the site of the first atomic bomb drop that happened 71 years ago on August 6, 1945. U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry visited the memorial, making him the highest-ranking U.S. official ever to revisit the site. Kerry did not speak publicly, but was seen becoming emotional as he laid a wreath at the site.
Donald Trump thinks he will make America great again, but some Americans do not agree. In a new Associated Press poll, Americans trust Hillary Clinton more than they do Donald Trump to deal with issues ranging from healthcare to immigration. The survey found only 15% of Americans believe Trump represents their views, whereas 20% of Americans believe Clinton represents their views. When it comes to gender equality, Clinton holds a demanding 55% support from Americans versus Trump's 12% backing. This is good news for Clinton, but the survey did show some areas where Clinton needs to improve. Trump is neck and neck with Clinton on whom Americans trust with the economy. Americans back Clinton at 38%, but Trump is close behind her at 35%. The AP poll was conducted online from March 31st through April 4th.
Speaking of issues that are in the middle of the political debate, waterboarding has been commonly mentioned by Republican presidential candidates Donald Trump and Ted Cruz, but the CIA said Monday they are not on board with using the interrogation tactic. Regardless of what the next president says, CIA Director John Brennan said his organization will not be part of any enhanced techniques that would be used to interrogate people in a harmful manner. The CIA formerly used waterboarding as a tactic following the attacks on on September 9/11 before President Barack Obama put an end to it.
A new art form is making a bigger presence on the University of Iowa campus. Daily Iowan TV reporter Nikki Crossway takes a closer look into how one group of students are using an uncommon form of expression to tell their own stories.
Students here on campus are expanding ways in expressing themselves on stage. Slam poetry, a competition in which poets read or recite their original work, gives students a different platform to express themselves and their talent.
Well, self-expression is always important. Like, it's just a platform for you to just tell people who you are, or just not even who you are, but just your voice and just to hear what you're thinking, because I think that's a major part of like just the world in general. Like, people sharing their ideas and their beliefs and their ways of thinking with other people so they can just like collab and just like challenge their own thinking. So I think that's definitely important that people come out to things like this and also share.
Poets spend weeks and months preparing their work to showcase for audiences.
I spend way too many hours watching poets and figuring out what you love and what touches you and what connects with your experiences.
Contestants in slam poetry are judged by a panel of judges, scoring them on their theme, tone, mood, and poetic fluency. Each contest concludes with an overall winner and crowd favorite. First-time winner at the Fire and Ice Slam Poetry here at the University of Iowa, Marquise Jackson, says poetry allows him to be himself.
I really think it's a different feeling reading something and then hearing it. I feel like there's so much emotion with spoken word, and I just want to, when I'm on stage, I'm more comfortable now, and I love expressing myself.
Alpha Phi chapter here at the University of Iowa hosts an annual poetry slam called Fire and Ice to bring together the campus's most talented poets.
Like, connecting these poets is what I'm here for. Like, you know, that's what I feel I'm here for, so to build that arts community.
Reporting in Iowa City, Nikki Crossway, Daily Iowan TV.
Well, while those students have their own stories to tell, we have our own to tell tonight, and that's about the weather. It's absolutely beautiful outside.
It is so great to see the sun shining. I don't even mind that it's a little bit windy. Let's toss it over to Sydney Zatz in the weather studio to see if we have any more sunny days this week.
Well, this week is looking clear and beautiful. Last week was on the rainy side, but things are looking clear this coming week. Tuesday morning we'll see clear skies, but we'll start in the morning at 27 degrees. In the afternoon we'll continue with clear skies as we jump up into the mid-40s, and we will continue into the night. Now for the rest of the week, we can expect clear skies every day. Wednesday and Thursday we'll see temps in the 60s throughout the day and the high 30s to mid-40s in the evening. But get your flip-flops ready like I am, because this weekend we'll finally see temps jump into the low to mid-70s. Things will stay in the high 40s and low 50s at night, but it looks like the summer weather is coming our way. Now, sometimes summer weather doesn't always bring the greatest outcome. This past Sunday in northeast Arkansas, there's a dust storm that caused 2 multi-vehicle collisions. This resulted in 11 injured as well as 1 fatality. That's all I have for you this week. Katie and Taylor, back to you.
Monday at all Decorah schools, extra security was present. This comes after a person sent a direct email to Carey Lee Elementary School. The person who sent the email voiced their complaints about the current curriculum at the elementary school. The complaints concerned the Decorah Police Department, and as a result, more security was at the school Monday.
Monday kicks off National Crime Victims' Rights Week, and the University of Iowa held a panel Monday night to discuss the impact crimes can have. Families of victims of homicide, vehicular homicide, and domestic violence spoke about the impact of what happened to them and their loved ones has had on their lives when trying to move forward. Check out tomorrow's edition of Daily Iowan TV for further coverage.
The Domestic Violence Intervention Program is the only domestic violence shelter in Iowa that has an organized safe pet program. It is going to add a new shelter for victims and their pets to stay. The Cooper's House is a sheltering program that provides kennels for clients who need to utilize shelter services. These kennels allow them to bring their animals with them. The program opens the door for domestic violence victims and homeless people. They can stay at the shelter up to 42 days without any costs and get extension depending on their circumstances. Construction project for the Cooper's House will begin this month and will be completed by the end of July. Well, it was definitely a wild weekend over at Carver Hawkeye Arena.
Oh, it was. People were everywhere, but there's also a little bit of drama. Zach Mackey is standing by in the sports studio for day 2 of the Olympic trials.
It was a crazy weekend here in Iowa City as the wrestling Olympic trials took place. We'll get to that coverage in a bit, but first, Carver Hawkeye Arena wasn't the only place to see some action over the weekend. Now, Dwayne Banks Field hosted the Hawkeyes in a Illini battle this past weekend, which proved to be an exciting matchup. It came down to the 9th inning of the final game of the series. Now, the game on Sunday started hot between the two rivals with a score of 1-1 as both teams played tight defense. Joe Booker came in at the bottom of the 5th with a big home run over the fence for the Hawkeyes, breaking that and giving Iowa the lead now at 4-1. Illinois coming back, though, and cut the lead down 4-3 until the final inning when freshman pitcher Zach Daniels came in, pitched 1 strikeout, bobbled a catch, and ultimately threw an out at first to secure the W for the night. Booker said the win was a team effort and a good one to have at home.
Oh, it feels great, especially since we haven't closed on Sundays here in a while. And, Zach made a great play just to get a glove on that ball and then to solidify it and make the final out at first. So kudos to him.
In the end, the Hawks pulled out the win with winning 2 of the 3-game series. Iowa heads back to the field on Tuesday as they will host Air Force here at home in Iowa City. All the excitement wasn't just on the west side of Iowa City. The weekend, as just up the road, the women's rowing team had their first and last home regatta on Lake McBride on Saturday. The number 16 Hawkeyes hosted the Big Ten duels for a morning and afternoon session, and the freezing cold temperatures didn't seem to slow down number 12th ranked Wisconsin as they beat Iowa 47-25. The afternoon warmed up just a bit, and so did the Hawkeyes. They went on to beat Minnesota 42-30. Head coach Andrew Carter noticed his team switch from the morning to the afternoon.
This morning they were just a little bit anxious, it seemed, to watch their racing from the outside. And this afternoon I think they contained that. They rode within themselves, and I think that they were able to put a notch on their belt that, and just walk away with a little bit of confidence doing what they already know how to do.
Iowa heads to Gold River, California next to compete in the Lake Natonia Invitational on April 16th and the 17th. We talked about day 1 of the wrestling Olympic trials on Sunday night. Now it's time for day 2. Carver was absolutely buzzing on Sunday afternoon for the second day of the road to Rio, and Gallup Murphy was there with the full coverage of the crazy day.
Day 2 at the U.S. Wrestling Olympic Trials was one for the books. From upsets to sheer domination, there was no shortage of excitement inside Carver Hawkeye Arena. The crowd received just what they waited for when former Hawkeyes Daniel Dennis and Tony Ramos cruised their way through the 57 kilos bracket to meet up in the finals.
And there it was, the moment all the Hawks fans were waiting for. 2 former Hawkeyes going at it to send one of them to Rio. Tony Ramos versus Daniel Dennis. Daniel Dennis dominated the second of the third match, winning by default, punching his ticket to Rio.
Match 1 was a close contest with Dennis coming out on top 2-1. Match 2 was far different from match 1, with Dennis dominating Ramos, winning 10-0 in just over 64 seconds.
He clubbed the hell out of me the first match. I was like, whoa, rattled me a little bit. And I don't know if I didn't get in my own groove or what. And then second match, the pace was a little bit higher. And I'm confident if I get on top, I can do some damage. And that's what I've known that, and that's what the coaches have been telling me for a while. And I've known that for a while. And taking advantage of those positions where I am strong. Yeah.
The loss comes as one of surprise for Ramos, who was favored to win the trials and had never lost inside Carver Hawkeye Arena. After the match, a displeased Ramos spoke of betrayal from his former head coach, Tom Brands.
I don't think there was one person in this program other than Terry Brands that really wanted to see me win that match. Tom came to talk to me, and that's when it was established that, he was not going to coach Dennis, he was going to be in my corner. Obviously that didn't happen.
Reporting inside Carver Hawkeye Arena, this has been Colin Murphy, Daily Iowan TV Sports.
Well, what a huge upset win by Dennis over Ramos. Obviously, Ramos was not happy by that, but Dennis absolutely dominated that second of the third match in the championship series. So that's going to do it here for us in the sports studio today. Be sure to tune back into Daily Iowan TV tomorrow. Let's send it over to Taylor and Katie at the desk.
That's all we have for you tonight on Daily Iowan TV.
Be sure to check out our website, dailyiowan.com, for all the latest news. For Daily Iowan TV, I'm Katie Reber.
And I'm Taylor Brooks. Have a great night, Iowa City.